This is an update video for the REDCAT RAMPAGE MTe monster truck. Stock, it comes with a 30cc CY engine. It's gasoline, two-stroke. I drove it that way for a while. In the first review I did was bone stock. I upgraded to the 660 Walbro carburetor and the CPI tuned pipe and the RB Innovations air cleaner. Still didn't have enough power for me. I'm used to driving electrics with instant power, and I overpower everything. So when I got this truck, I was, it's a monstrous truck. It's huge. As a size comparison, this is a Traxxas Rustler, stock Rustler. You can see that this truck is enormous. It's a lot of fun to drive. It's real eye-catching because of the size. When it's got a 30cc engine in it and the tuned pipe, it's loud. If you live in a neighborhood, it's gonna, it's worse than running a weed whacker. It's probably twice that loud. And when you know how much power is available, the power of that engine, the gas engine, it just wasn't enough. So I converted this to electric. It runs 8-cell LiPo, 2 4-cells. It runs a Castle 2028 motor and the Castle XL2 ESC. This thing now has so much power that it acts like an 8-scale monster truck with big 8-scale brushless system in it. It will do standing backflips if you can get traction. I've proven that. I did a standing backflip, or actually several standing backflips, at the International Hobby Show this year in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Nicely done.
I don't take it easy on this truck. I've broken a few parts. I've snapped a couple of out drives since I converted it to electric. Before it was converted to electric, I didn't have any breakage issues, and I was still running it pretty hard. I did tweak the chassis, dropping off of 8+ foot drop. I nosed it in and I tweaked the chassis. All I did was laid it over my knee and flexed the chassis back to somewhere near close to straight, and kept running it that day. After that, I brought it home and reflexed it on my bench and got it back to where it was drivable. And after a few months, I converted it to electric. It's now I drive it all the time. It's one of my favorite trucks to drive. It's huge, powerful, not cheap. Motor mount conversion is from Kershaw Designs. I think it's around $160 for the motor mount and the battery hold downs as a kit. Castle, as I said, Castle motor and ESC, the 2028 motor, Castle XL2 ESC. I run 2 4-cell hardpack LiPos. You'll see it in the next video. I'll show you the strap downs I used hard case LiPos to because the battery hold downs are just bars that come up on both sides of the battery, and as bad as I beat this truck, I didn't want the batteries flipping into the drive shaft. I actually have flexed this chassis enough to bend the rear drive shaft in it, the shaft that goes from the rear diff to the spur gear. The spur gear on this thing is huge. I would suggest you run this thing, where there aren't many people around. This thing, if it gets out of control, it weighs 37 pounds. When it starts cartwheeling, somebody's getting hurt. It's extremely powerful truck, and it just takes one blip of the throttle to get it to wheelie. And once it wheelies, it catches the tire wrong and it starts barrel rolling or cartwheeling. People get hurt pretty easily. I wouldn't say that this is a truck for beginners. You pretty much got to know what you're driving and know how to drive before you start grabbing, hands full of throttle on an 8 cell, 1/5 scale monster truck that weighs 37 pounds. In the video, I'll put in a couple of shots of some things I've done with it, just to show I haven't been easy on this truck. And
got it. Got it.
Oh my goodness.
I broke 2 out drives by blipping the throttle and getting into the throttle real hard on 8 cells. I snapped three or four rear camber links. After I snapped the last camber link at the International Hobby Show in Chicago, coming off of a 14+ foot fall. Awesome! I snapped the camber link. When I got home, I started doing research and found that there's a company that makes titanium camber links for this truck. I ordered the titanium camber links. I think they were somewhere around $30. Put those in and haven't broken another camber link since. As far as being a 5th scale monster truck and REDCAT's reputation with the rest of the hobby industry, I get a lot of static for running a REDCAT. In my opinion, or as far as I've researched, there are really only 2 5th scale monster trucks that have the huge tires in the industry that have decent product support. Parts for this thing are readily available. All I gotta do is jump on the internet and within a week I have parts. This truck, the REDCAT Rampage MTe, and the monster truck from MCD are the only 2 trucks that I know of this style and this size that have product support readily available for them. There may be some other offshoot companies that, there's one website or something that carries parts. This thing, you can get parts on eBay. You can get parts from quite a few different shops. I never have problems finding parts for this thing if I needed them. I like it. The MCD, I have never driven an MCD. I've heard a lot of positive things about the MCD, but the price difference is about $800 between this truck and an MCD. That $800 wasn't justifiable to me. You know, if you have the bankroll to spend the extra $800, and you know you found research that says that the MCD is that much better than the REDCAT, you know, more power to you. I like my REDCAT. I'll do some videos around the truck. This is a walk around of the truck. This is where the 4-cell LiPo goes. As you can see, there's a Velcro strap that goes front to back that holds the battery in, and then you have these 4 posts that hold the battery from sliding. I use 4-cell hard packs because there's no battery box per se, so I wanted to get something that, you know, if it got jostled around, I wouldn't have to worry about these posts sticking the side of the battery or whatever may be. This is the Castle 2028 motor. I've been out running it in the snow, so it's a little dusty. There's the Castle ESC mounted, and then on the other side of the chassis we have the motor wires running back to the motor. Keep them out of the way. This is what the battery box looks like without the battery in it. And yes, I could run, you know, big 5mm plugs, and I didn't want to do it. All my batteries run Traxxas plugs. I haven't really had a problem with this. I don't really get on it very hard. I guess if I start seeing issues with the plugs getting hot, then I'll probably change them out and put 5mm plugs on. But this way I can run my 4 cells in my 8-scale buggy and truggies, and I don't have to run adapters to do so. I just put Traxxas plugs on everything. I'll put pictures in here of how big that spur gear is. It's a case hardened steel spur gear, hardened pinion gear. I'll try to get the wobble of the drive shaft where I bent the drive shaft. You can kind of see it there. I need to pull that apart and straighten that drive shaft, but it's a lot of fun to drive. I was a little afraid of this mounting system. It mounts with 2 bolts on the faceplate of the motor. I was real scared of that when I first started putting this thing together, knowing how hard I was going to drive it. I've never broken the motor mount, and I've never broken the screws that hold the motor into the motor mount. Most of that is probably due to the massive tires taking most of the shock when it lands, but you know, in the video I'll show you I jumped it, you know, 14 plus feet in the air and landed it on all 4 wheels on a spine ramp at the International Hobby Show. As I said, I broke the camber link, but that was the only damage, and new camber links are, you know, reasonable priced. And after I got the titanium camber links, I haven't broken another one yet. If you have any questions about the MT or the conversion kit, post below and I'll try to get back with you. Watch some of my other videos if you want to see how much abuse I put this truck through. There's a few more videos on my channel for this truck. Like it, subscribe. I'll try to put out more videos of it as I'm running it. Thank you.